Hey everyone, welcome to the 15th episode of Amplify Life with Madhuri Thakur. Today's episode is for the dating couples and married couples to help them identify any of the red flags in their relationships so that they can identify the right time to pause and open communication with their spouse or partner, or if needed, take professional help. Hey everyone, I'm Madhuri Thakur. Thank you for tuning in to Amplify Life. In this show, we will talk about personal transformation, relationships, and life. How would we take responsibility for our own life? How can we grow, accomplish our goals, personal, professional, and relationship goals? We will learn how to unstuck ourselves from our limiting beliefs. We would be talking about practical and tangible actions that we can take and implement in our lives. Episode 15. 15 Red Flags in Relationships. People talk a lot about red flags in relationships, but what does that term mean exactly? Are all red flags the same for everyone? And are they a reason to walk away? Or does it ever make sense to address the red flag and mend the relationship? This episode will answer those questions and also outline some of the most common red flags in relationships to be aware of. We are born out of relationships. We put in efforts to maintain the relationships. These relationships are required, yet they stay mysterious throughout our life. If relationships are the cause of happiness, then probably relationships are the cause of all the tensions we have. During my sessions, I come across many individuals and couples who are suffering because of their inability to identify the right time to pause and start working on the relationships, as they fail to identify the red flags in relationships, which has a huge payoff. What are relationship red flags? Throughout all contexts, red flags signifies a reason to stop. Red flags are thrown in sports when a game is halted because of a foul, or red lights signal us to stop our vehicle on the road. Sometimes these red flags can be less extreme, and other times they are a crystal clear sign to run for the hills. According to the psychotherapists and relationship experts, they can range from proceed with caution to absolutely don't go there, depending on the severity of the behavior and your own relationship patterns and non-negotiables. Alright, so let's listen to the 15 red flags I have picked in this episode to help you identify the red flags. If you are witnessing, then be cautious. This is the right time to communicate with your partner or get a professional help. Number 1. If your partner never takes responsibility. If you are constantly turning things around on your partner, you are turning things toxic. Some people have an uncanny talent for making their partner feel personally responsible and guilty for all their misfortunes. These are not people you want to date or live with. When your partner constantly blames others for misfortunes, this means he has difficulty taking responsibility for his own actions. Number 2. You avoid saying what you need because there's just no point, or stonewalling. If your attempts to talk about what you need ends in fight, another empty promise, being clingy, insecurity, jealousy, or blame. Shutting down and refusing to talk during an argument, also known as stonewalling, makes it difficult to discuss any remotely difficult topic. You will never feel like any issue gets resolved, and you will also fail to develop the level of intimacy and connection required to sustain a healthy long-term relationships. Number 3. You are not practicing self-care. If you are neglecting me time for any reason, or you are voluntarily dropping all your activities in favor of your partner's schedule, then you are not practicing self-care. Number 4. If you are only accepted if you say yes. No is an important word, especially in a relationship. Find your no, give it a polish, and you know where the release button is. If your partner doesn't give you space when you need it and oversteps your boundaries, this is another bad sign. Boundaries are important in any relationship because they ensure that we are comfortable with certain interactions or situations. It can have a negative impact on us if any of the boundary is crossed. Number 5. The scorecard. Let me show you how wrong you are. Someone who supports you, encourages you, and challenges you can sometimes be confused for someone who's really actually criticizing you. If your partner uses words or actions to make you feel small, inadequate, or unimportant, it may constitute as or develop into verbal or emotional abuse. A secure person with healthy self-esteem will build their partner up, not put them down. Number 6. If you are not the part of decision making. Big decisions are for important people and clearly you are not the one. Can you relate? Identify it. 7. You feel like you do all the work in your relationship. If suddenly you think you are doing all the heavy lifting, especially if your partner doesn't seem to notice, the balance has become toxic then. Number 8. Physical or verbal abuse or both. These are deal breakers. Any kind of physical abuse should be taken very seriously. If you feel physically scared by how the person is, or if they are ever behaved in ways that are physically abusive or threatening, that's it. Give it an absolute 100% no. Along with physical abuse, verbal and emotional abuse are also huge red flags. According to the experts, in a healthy relationship, you support and encourage one another. Anybody that makes you feel like you are the problem, you are crazy, or you are causing them to act a certain way, those are all red flags. Number 9. Lying and cheating. The toxicity of this lies in the slow erosion of confidence. Sometimes all the fights in the world can't repair trust when it's broken once. Number 10. If you are taken for granted. Never saying thank you. When we start to take our partners for granted, frustration begins to build exponentially. If your partner doesn't appreciate you, eventually this could cause the end of the relationship. Number 11. If your spouse or partner goes straight for the nuclear option during an argument. Threatening to end the relationship is one way to quickly end a disagreement, but if your partner is always threatening to leave the relationship, you can't feel safe in that relationship. And if they say it's that easy for them to just walk away, then you will always be walking on eggshells, worrying about that anything will drive them away. Number 12. Disrespecting you anywhere and in front of your friends and family. Respect is everything in a relationship. Without it, a relationship is doomed or, at best, in the need of major life support. Pay attention not just to the words he uses, but also to the looks he gives, the tones behind his words, and his behavior. All of these things make a world of difference when it comes to whether or not he respects and loves you. Number 13. Making fun of you in public. We all have insecurities. It's part of being human. But if your partner exploits your insecurities, especially in front of others, for his or her own gain, this is a major red flag. Number 14. Downplaying your accomplishments. When your partner is undermining of your accomplishments or efforts, it shows how deeply insecure they are. This kind of person sees everything as a competition and needs you to do less well than them to feel good about themselves. Number 15. Depending on you to make them happy. Too often in relationships, there's a great deal of pressure in the relationship to make each other happy. I have seen many women in particular trying to make their husbands, their children happy at great cost to themselves, and eventually they become very resentful. It's not your job to make your partner happy. You can just give your 100% to the relationship and your best self into the relationship. Happiness is something only they can do for themselves. You can listen to the episode 6, Please Disease or Codependency, for better understanding. So, whoever we are because of relationships, right? You accomplish anything professionally, that's because of professional relationships. If you achieve something socially or you are happy in your social circle, that's because of social relationships, isn't it? If you are happy personally, or often all your happiness and achievements are because of your strong personal relationships, and most importantly, the relationship with self. Now I want you to listen all ears. In the end, I would like to leave you with the key of love. Love is not a feeling. It's something that we do to choose loving sentiments. Love is a verb, an activity. To make a relationship work, we need to continuously show or give affection, support, love, service, and sacrifice. You can only take what you give. So deposit in the relationship account what you want to withdraw, and only then you can get credit when you need more of the givings than deposited. To have healthy and happy relationships, we need to show love. Today I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to give compliments to your partner or do something that brings smile and happiness to them. Thank you for being with me, and thank you if you have subscribed to my YouTube or podcast channels. Catch you in the next episode. You can write to me if you want me to take any topic or question of your choice related to personal empowerment, relationships, and life in your own show, Amplify Life. Also, you can book your consultation for relationship coaching with me through Facebook for one-to-one or a couple session. You can contact me for relationship coaching workshops in your society, club, or organization. Also, you can join my training programs on effective communication skills, soft skills, and personality empowerment programs for students and working professionals. To stay connected, I invite you to come along with me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Please find the details in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, comment, and review. See you next week. Till then, keep rocking and shine your brightest.